Hey guys, it's Janixa and welcome to another nail lacquer therapy session. Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about the new Salon Perfect Dipping Dots collection. Salon Perfect is available exclusively at Walmart, and I have thoughts on this collection, you guys. I really do. I love, the aesthetic, the look of the bottles, the colors. It's really pretty, but the formula. I originally started swatching these, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and I ended up just stopping. I swatched four of them and I couldn't take it. So I ended up stopping my swatches, deleted the pictures, deleted the swatching footage because I just could not. Every single polish needed 4 coats, and even after 4 coats, I was just not happy at all. So I just thought maybe I'm having a bad day with, swatching. So I went ahead and I just put them away. And now I decided to take them out and give them another chance. So let's go ahead and see how they perform this time.
First up, we have Orange Creme, and this one is described as a neon pastel orange cream. These polishes retail for $3.98 on Walmart's website, and just in case you didn't know, Salon Perfect is actually vegan and cruelty free, and they also claim to be 12 free. I think that's amazing. I mean, I hope that every nail polish brand is striving to be vegan and cruelty free and, just get rid of those toxins that aren't necessary in their products. As you can see, the first coat on this one covered decently. I didn't have too much of an issue with this one, but I did still need 3 coats for it. I felt like on the second coat, I could still see some dark streaks, and I definitely needed that third coat to cover those. I think the problem here is the brush. This brush is absolutely horrible. It's almost as bad as Zoya's skinny brush. I just I could not, you guys. I was having such a hard time with it. Normally, I'm okay with skinny brushes too, but this one just really was giving me a hard time, and I kept just trying to be patient, and it was hard. I'm used to the wide brushes, and this was just a bit of a pain, but on that third coat, you can see that it does cover fully. You just have to make sure not to push down on the brush, on the nail too much, or you'll mess it up. Next up, we have Strawberry Swirl, and this one is described as a neon pink pastel cream. I find myself struggling right now to find like really positive things to say about these polishes, but honestly, you guys, I just did not like them. The formulas were not good at all. We all have, pastels in our collections if we are, diehard nail polish collectors, and many of them have a much better formula. Even if they require 3 coats, I feel like they must have a better formula than these, because with these, I had to constantly be careful not to push too hard, with the brush onto the nail, because it would mess it up. It would just create a big dark streak. Like, you kind of had to just float your brush lightly over the nail to avoid any issues. And I just don't feel like I should have to be that careful when painting my nails. It takes the fun out of it. So that was a big issue for me with this collection. I just am not feeling it, you guys. Honestly, I think that this collection is a complete pass. I like the idea, the collab, but it's a no from me, you guys. It's just a no from me. And I hate sounding so negative, but I have to be honest, and it just didn't do it for me. This collection just did not do it for me at all. Next up, we have Banana Split, and this one is described as a neon pastel yellow. Now, this one is one of the ones that I figured would need that third coat because these yellows usually always do. So I wasn't very bothered with the formula on this one. I thought it was pretty common. Formula for a yellow, but of course, something had to go wrong. You'll see on the second coat, when I go into my middle finger, I had a bristle from the brush just get stuck in there. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy watching me trying to remove that from my nail without messing everything up. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. As you can see, it was a little bit of a struggle, but I did manage to save the nail polish, didn't mess it up too bad. It will be covered up completely on the third coat. That almost made me give in again and just say forget it to swatching this collection. I just feel like when there's an 8-piece collection and all of them require at least 3 coats, it's just really frustrating, you guys. And I know that for the average consumer, you guys aren't sitting there swatching all of these back to back, but it's a pain. Next up, we have Cotton Candy, and this one is a neon pastel blue. I don't feel like this one is as neon as the other ones. It's just a pastel blue to me. It has a decent formula. They're all the same. All the formulas across the board here are all the same, except for a purple one. I think it's called Birthday Cake, something like that. We'll get to it in a little bit here. But like I said, all of these will require that third coat. And you guys can see I have short nails, and it didn't really matter. I still needed that third coat. So I can imagine that people with longer nails will definitely need a fourth coat. For this collection, a few of the colors actually kind of go together. For example, this one and Berry Freeze are, bluish polishes. And when you're swatching, it's kind of hard. I had to be very careful not to mix them up because when they're on the nail, they look pretty similar. I would say in the bottle, they look a little different. And if you go ahead and search Salon Perfect's pictures for them on the Walmart website, you can definitely see a difference there. But once they're on your nail, I feel like it's a little bit harder to pick out the difference between the colors. So maybe this collection could have been a little bit smaller than 8 pieces, maybe remove the polishes that look really, really similar. For example, these two blues, this one and Berry Freeze. But yeah, I think it could have been a little bit smaller of a collection, and maybe it would have been a little bit less frustrating to swatch. Next up, we have Lime Ice, and this one is described as a neon pastel green. This one is pretty similar to the yellow that we saw earlier, but it is definitely, noticeable that it's a green and not a yellow. Have you guys had Dippin' Dots ice cream? I feel like I don't remember having any in my life. I think that's kind of crazy because every time I go to the zoo or, places like that, they have them there. And at some malls, they're there. And I don't know, I just never tried it. I think I might have as a child, but I just cannot remember at all. So I'm actually curious. I think if this collection did any good for me, it was to make me curious to try the Dippin' Dots ice cream again and kind of see what the craze for it is all about. Because I have heard a lot of people talk about how much they enjoy Dippin' Dots. I know someone who drives pretty far just to be able to get some because they don't have any where they're from. So I'm assuming it has to be pretty good, huh? I enjoy this color. I like greens like this, but if you're looking for something like this, I feel like China Glaze has a lot of them and they have a much better formula. So definitely look into China Glaze if you like this color. They have great dupes. Next up is Birthday Cake, and this one is my favorite in the collection, and probably not for the reason that you think. Purple, yes, love it, but this one is my favorite because it is a two-coater, and look at that first coat. It almost looks perfect on the first coat. So you see, we know that Salon Perfect can do it. We know that they can give us a better formula because this polish is proof. It had amazing coverage. I think that once it gets a little bit older, has been used a little more and thickens up, it could definitely be a one coater. And that's crazy to say about a polish that's light like this, but I really enjoyed this one. This one made me happy. I love the color. I absolutely cannot get enough of colors like this. This was the type of color that I always used to choose when I would go to the salon and get my nails done. So it's a favorite for sure, and I'm glad we have at least one two-coater in this collection. Next up, we have Cool Mint, and this one is described as a neon pastel mint cream. All right, so if I go ahead and try the Dippin' Dots, is there any flavor that you guys absolutely recommend? Let me know, because I'm kind of boring when it comes to ice cream, and I always tend to go for, cookies and cream or something like that. So I want to know if there's a flavor that is a must have in the Dippin' Dots, ice cream, because now I'm really curious. As you can see, this one, just like the others, has a lot of streaks on that first coat. And you guys, I think again, the downfall for these polishes is for sure the brush. When I was using the brush on a few of these, I noticed that it was kind of cut a little bit wonky. Like the brushes were a little wonky in the majority of these, which kind of surprised me because I've used some Salon Perfect polishes before and I didn't have a problem with the brush. So I'm not sure what happened here with this collection, but for sure at least 3 to 4 of the polishes had a odd brush, kind of just seemed like they cut it wrong. A couple of them had bristles that were sticking out a lot. I mean, that's not such a big deal. It happens. You can just nip it with a cuticle nipper, but when the brush seems like it's been cut in the wrong way, that can for sure mess with the way that you can paint your nail. And last but not least, we have Berry Freeze, and this one is described as a neon pastel periwinkle. This one also had a bit more of a decent formula. Look at that first coat. It looks a lot more creamy and less streaky than the others. Of course, there is still streaks there, but it definitely looked less streaky than some of the other polishes that we've seen here so far. So normally when a polish is, cheap, just a couple of bucks, I can tell you, hey, for the price, it's worth it. But honestly, I can't say this about these polishes. I don't feel like they're worth it for the price. I feel like other brands that are cheaper, like Sinful Colors, or just a few dollars more, like China Glaze, are way more worth it. You're not gonna have such a headache with those. And it's odd because China Glaze and Salon Perfect are actually the same brand. They are owned by the same brand, I believe. And I feel like China Glaze's formula is just so much better than Salon Perfect's. It's a shame. Here we have them all together, and they look so pretty all together, but ultimately you have to decide whether 3 or 4 coats is worth it for you.
Alright guys, there you have it. Swatches of the new Salon Perfect and Dipping Dots collaboration. You know, I don't think I've ever had Dipping Dots ice cream. Or maybe I was really little and I just don't remember. Yeah, but I have no recollection of eating Dipping Dots ice cream. Alright, so this collection, it's pretty. I mean, the colors are pretty, but honestly, I just don't like the fact that I have to fight so much to get opacity on them. And I feel like this time around, my second time around swatching these, it went a lot better than the first time, but it's just still not a formula that I love, and that's why I don't usually gravitate towards Salon Perfect polishes at all. I just I don't like the formula. Yes, they're cheap. Yes, they are easily accessible at Walmart, but honestly, Sinful Colors is just as cheap and they have a much better formula. So, do I think you guys need these? No, I would honestly say completely pass up this collection unless you're like a major Dipping Dots fan. Then, yeah, go ahead and pick up what you would like. But honestly, if you're asking me for my opinion on these polishes, I would say you can pass them up. You probably have the colors in your collection already, and they probably perform better than this collection did. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!